Okay, so welcome to the Cyberholic tutorial 1.1.2, and we could also call this the noob Winter CMS tutorial sessions, because as the script kiddie that I am, I failed big time with the last video. The reason for this is that I was creating my website, my personal blog website, based on the demo template. So what we did, or what I did, was simply just changing the code of the demo template, and that's not how you do it. Usually when you install something like PrestaShop or any other e-commerce, many e-commerce systems, they work like that. They are like, hey, just take our template, the standard template, and adjust it to your needs. And you should not do that. Later on, they also tell you that you really just should copy it and and make the changes there. So that was a big fail from my side. So what we are going to do today is we are going to create our own Winter CMS theme right away from the backend. The thing is that, let me just go in there. We go to settings and load the page. The thing is that we could duplicate the template that we currently are using. If I go to the left to front end theme, then he's going to load the themes that are installed on the system. And here you will find the demo template. And if I go to the manage button down here, we could really just like, manage it. Oh, just a second. Why don't you? Oh, I haven't activated the following. Sorry. So, we could just duplicate it by hitting here and duplicate it, but I want to start from zero. So we are going to create a new blank theme. Hit that big button, and then we are going to fill out this form, starting with my name. Oh no, the name of the theme. Sorry, we're going to call it Cyberholic 2022. Removing this dash, you could. This is like the directory name is going to be like the folder where you're going to install it. Just keep that in mind that I often try to avoid dashes or something, special characters with folders and files. If possible, just dash and underscore. But in this case, I'm going to leave it like that. This means that if you in here, you will have later on an assets folder, and that assets folder is going to hold all the JavaScript and CSS files. So you should keep this one simple and understandable. So now we are going to the next step. This is going to be the description. I think that all these fields should be considered, how do you call it? They should be considered necessary, because you can, as you have seen up there on the manage button, you can export themes, meaning that hopefully soon when the Winter CMS marketplace is online, you certainly can directly import or download and then import themes from within there. So this is the reason why you should add also homepage and code. I'm not sure here. I think that, I think that this comes from, I think that this is just like an identification for the marketplace. I'm not sure here. Because they say a unique code for the theme used for distribution, so that you don't have the same themes or the same code for two different themes. I don't know what kind of structure is needed here. I'm just going to take the Android development definition for apps and putting the top level domain extension in here, Cyberholic, the domain name, and then something like theme 22, something like that. I don't know. It would be nice if some of the pros among you could just explain in the comments if this is good or not like that, or how such a code could or should look like. So now we go to create. And once that the theme is created, we activate it. let's switch the tabs. This is the old website, and if I hit refresh now, you are going to see a page error, page not found. That is because if we go to the backend again and then to CMS, it doesn't matter where you look, pages, partials, layouts, there are not going to be any type of files in there. So we go to layouts first and then to add, because we have to add our site structure in here. I'm going to call this default.htm, the default, not theme, the default layout for standard websites. And here I'm going to just, if you are new into all this, into the development of websites, or just know a little bit about it, then you're going to understand what I'm writing in here. There's a lot missing up there in the head, like the meta tags for SEO and generator and author, etc. language. Also the HTML tag is missing. This is just really just to show you how this works like. So if I write now hello world here, this is not going to work out. You're going to see it in a second. Let me just write a title in here. Okay, so we have defined a layout. If you remember, this is a layout. You can have as many layouts as you want so that each of your page could have a unique layout, a unique structure. This way you could, it could be something like a multi-page system, seen as a multi-page system where you could have like, let's say 2 domains with 2 totally different layouts or designs, but with the same content. So you really can define the layouts over here, and this is fantastic because you can adapt the pages to the needs of the structure of the website. So for example, if you would have some kind of grid system in here, just let's write this as an example. You could have in this, currently in this layout that I'm having here, you could have like a 3-column grid, but you could create a new layout and having just a 2-column grid and call pages with that layout. So we really can define the page structure within this. This is absolutely fantastic. Nevertheless, this page is not going to work like that because if I refresh it now, you still see the page not found. That is because it's Winter CMS is searching for the root page. That means the initial page, the start page, the home page, and it's not in there because the layout is just a definition of the structure, but we must define in here this one called page. So this means please load the page content in here within the body tag and the body tag. Now the question is what page? We have created no page until now. So what we have to do now is go to pages. No page is found currently. So we go to add page. And I'm going to call this one the Cyberholic Home. And very important in here, as long as you don't have any kind of root system or through an HTXS or subdomain redirection, you just leave it like that, the / so that you really define this is my root page. So I write now in here hello world, save this one. And now we should see the hello world. Perfect, there it is. So what we have done right now is just with the default layout, define some kind of page structure, very, very minimalistic, this one, and created our first page. In here come several other things like currently super hyped the snowboard all. If you come from October CMS, then you would insert here the framework extras, I think, if I remember it correctly. It's called framework extras. And what snowboard all is like some JavaScript helper that allows you to inject, as far as I know, inject certain, imagine it like jQuery on steroids, if I understood it correctly from the Discord channel, because I asked them, hey, what is snowboard? I just found about it. And in the documentation, you can see it. It's just like that you can extend plugins super easy. One important thing that I learned from I think it was Luke Towers from the Discord channel is that nevertheless you have to include in here jQuery. We will need to include jQuery in here because you certainly want to use certain plugins coming from your for your website or to enhance your website, and they will need jQuery. They will not understand what is Snowboard or what are the codes that Snowboard use. So you certainly will need jQuery. Also in here, I hope this is the correct. I don't know if it comes first or last, but you also need this one in here. So the scripts is like you can include dynamically scripts, JavaScripts, and they will be loaded in here so that when you include JavaScripts that he knows where to put them in. The same thing, I'm just going to copy this line and put it in the head, goes for the styles. So this way you can define some styles. I'm not going too deep in here. I'm also not going to insert the meta tags. I'm going to get a HTML skeleton, so you really can define by yourself what meta tags you want to use in the head for SEO or whatever, so that you really can adapt this to your needs. This video is really just to show you, okay, how to create my own theme from the back end. And what we are going to do in the next video is include semantic and jQuery into our layout, the default layout.